Can Arsenal beat Real Madrid? The obvious answer is yes. But then I ask you how and why. And I'm going to answer that question today, because that is the big game in Europe. Everyone is looking forward to it. Now, the first thing, and that's the reason I've got paper here with me, the most important thing for this game, in my opinion, is the starting 11 for Arsenal. If they're going to have any chance of beating Madrid, they have to do well at the Emirates. Now, I'm going to write down a starting 11. Now, I'm going to write down the options here that potentially could start the game. So, Raya in goal. Pretty easy. Now, Saliba at right centre-back is nailed on. The other three defenders is a bit interesting. We'll come back to that. In midfield, Rice starts. 100%. Now, do you go Rice, Partey, Odegaard? For me, you do. Partey knows how to play against Real. He played against them many of times in La Liga. So I'm going... So, Saka on the right. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So right now, if you can see this, guys, I've got David Raya in goal. I've got Saliba. I've got Partey, Rice, and Odegaard. Saka on the right. Now, who starts at right back? I'm going to go... Pretty sure... I'm going to go Ben White. That is a last minute decision, because I think Ben White and Saka, with Odegaard on that right hand side, if we can unlock that triangle we had a few seasons ago, we have a chance, especially at home. Now, left back and left centre back. I'm going to shock a few people, and I'm going to start Kieran Tierney at left back. Why? Why have I done that? Well, because I think Miles Lewis-Skelly is brilliant. He's amazing. Hands down, world class already, generational talent. But he's had too many dodgy moments, susceptible errors, little issues. And I don't think the goal that Everton scored was a penalty. I don't think that was Lewis Skelly's fault. But he has this thing, Lewis Skelly, where he'll pick up the ball. He did it against Everton as well. And he'll just keep on running and running and running and running and not passing. And he'll be this close to losing that ball. Now, the reason I think it's good in the Premier League he does that is because it can break lines. But this is Real Madrid. There is no lines there. There is straight up cement that you cannot get past. There is blocks. So, if he was to do that and lose the ball, Mbappe's through, 1-0, then I'm angry. So I'm starting Tierney, because he can give us an outlet on the left hand side, and I just trust him more. I trust him more, unfortunately. I love Lewis Skelly, but I just trust him more. Kieran Tierney starts for me at left back. Now, centre back. There's just a debate all over the internet. Do I start Kivior or Timber? Because they are the only two options I've got left here. I'm gonna go with Urian Timber alongside Saliba. Now, key point here, this is the 11 that I would pick from the players available. Not the 11 I think Mikel Arteta's going to pick. We're going to get onto that. So, I've got Raya in goal, Ben White at right back, Saliba and Timber as my two centre backs, Tierney left back, Partey, DM, Rice is a 6, no, Rice is the 8, Partey in the 6, Odegaard is in your sort of 8/10 role, Saka on the right. And then these two is interesting. because you've got Marino, you've got Trossard, you've got Ranieri, and you've got Marcelli. Me personally, because I think we need to attack Madrid straight away, I'm starting Martinelli on the left, Saka on the right. Now up front, it's between Marino, Ranieri, and Trossard. Ranieri we haven't seen it yet, so I wouldn't do it, although in the academy he was a striker / centre forward, which I do remember because I watched the academy games. But do you take the gamble with Marino? And I don't, because I'm thinking about it. Rudiger and Alaba are two beasts, they're monsters, so even Marino's physicality is probably not even gonna sort of harm them or make them shaky. Trossard might get bullied. Now, the problem is, if this doesn't work with Trossard up there, you don't really have an option on the bench, and that's just swayed my mind. I'm starting Mikel Merino up top. There you can see that team. I've got David Raya in goal, Tierney at left back, then is Timbers left side centre back, Saliba, Ben White, Partey, Rice, Odegaard, Martin on the left, Saka on the right, Marino up front. And I think if it's not working, then you bring on Trossard. Remember against Bayern last season, he scored that clutch goal, which, yes, it wasn't enough, but if we'd lost at home, then we'd no chance away. So Trossard, Ranieri, I have both of them on the bench, Lewis Skelly on the bench. Sterling's not even available because he picked up too many yellow cards against, I think, Girona. That was a long time ago. It was at PSV. It was PSV, I think. PSV at home. Now, originally, I had the same 11, but I had Timber at right back and Ben White there at centre back, next to Tierney. Now, if this is the 11 I want, I'm now going to do the 11 that I think Arteta's going to do. And I think the 11 that Arteta will start is this. It's pretty simple. It's going to be Raya in goal. It's going to be Timber at right back, Saliba at right centre back. I think he's going to go for Jakub Kiwior at left centre back. We're going to get on to reasons why I don't think he should start Kiwior. Miles Lewis Skelly is going to be left back. Midfield, I swear it's semi-difficult. Partey, Rice, Odegaard. I think he'll go for the same midfield I just said, because it makes sense. Saka on the right. I think he'll go Saka on the right, Martinelli on the left, and Marino up top, which is the same 11, or the same front three that I gave earlier, the same midfield I gave earlier. The difference is this side where Miles Skelly and Kiwior are is where I put Tierney and Timber. I think he's going to go Kiwior. The reason I think he's going to go Kiwior is simply because Arteta loves rewarding players for little things. Like a few seasons ago when he said that he started Eddie Nketiah because he was training good. I think that was before Leeds or something. After Leeds. The water bottle that just flew under the desk, but oh well. So he said he started Eddie Nketiah because he was training well. In the past, he's given Rob Holding time because he works hard. Martinelli, a fighter. And Kiwior's had one good game, and I think that was against Everton. And I don't even think he was that good. I thought he was susceptible in moments of that match. But I think Arteta will stick to his word and try and prove the haters wrong. Now, I think this team's going to start. I'll be stunned if this team does not start. This team I put out here. Now, how does this team stop Real Madrid and potentially attack them? I have no clue. But here we are. I think Saka is going to have to produce magic. Miles Lewis-Skelly up against Rodrigo. That's going to be difficult. I think Miles has come up against not as good wingers, but he's come up against some decent wingers in the Prem. Some he struggled against, but mostly he's been brilliant. So I think Miles isn't really an issue. It's just Miles losing the ball when he does those bursts into midfield. Kivior. Now, you know for a fact, no matter who starts next to Saliba, Real Madrid are going to target that person. But Jakub Kivior. Now, I think France played Poland at the Euros. I might be wrong, but I remember... Yeah, they did. I'm pretty sure they did. I remember Kivior actually having a good game against Mbappe that day. Now, I'm not saying he's going to lock up Mbappe, but what I am saying is that bro has to turn up. Because if this guy is in the first 5 minutes, if Mbappe runs past him, then you best believe that we are in big trouble. We are screwed. Saliba, that's his time to step up. Now, as good as Timber or Ben White is at right back, whoever's there, I don't know, they're going to be up against Vinicius. Maybe that's why I start him, because Ben White's not really match fit to go up against Vinny. Saliba has a big role here. Saliba has to help Kivior when he's up against Mbappe, and he has to help Timber when Vinny's in. Now, moving further in front, Thomas Partey. He needs to lock up that midfield. He needs to do what he did at Tottenham a few years ago. He needs to do what he did against City. He needs to lock up their whole team. And I think I put it almost as the 6, the 8 and 10, but it's more like 2 6s and a double pivot, and then the 8 further in front. Because I think that Rice and Partey are going to have to do much more defensive work than offensive work. Hear me out here. Now, Marino's up there. He's a bit of a passenger. Now, how do you get Marino to score against Madrid? Well, that's where Martin Asgard comes into play. That's where Saka comes into play. And I think Saka and Odegaard, I think the only way Marino's going to score is from a header, from a cross, a set piece, some sort of fluky goal like against Fulham. But they've got Rudiger and Alaba. So I don't think that may not happen. And that's why I think Trossard needs to come on instantly when it's not working. If it doesn't work, half time, bang, change it up. Martinelli, huge game for him. He did good well against Fulham, up against Castagno, who's not a mug. Castagno is no mug. He played really well against him. Cooked Castagno, nutmegged him and all that. I need him to do that to Danny Carvajal. That guy is older than an elderly father. That man is older than a lot of footballers in the world. He is old. He's won 6 Champions League titles Carvajal's won. Well, send him home packing. He can stay on 6. Now, I look at the midfield battle, which we know is going to be key anyway. But I think Rice, Odegaard, Partey are going to have to step up. Against Modric, Kroos, well, Kroos not even there anymore, but Modric, Valverde, Camavinga, they've got Tchouaméni, they've got, I think Tchouaméni might be out actually. Arda can come on, Brahim, who else they got? It's just off the top of my head. Bellingham is going to probably drop deep quite a lot into midfield. He needs to be contained. Has to be contained. Now, Martinelli's got to go direct for me to get the pace, and Saka, magical. Marino can just stand up there like a cone, but he needs to do more. Now, this is where we move on here. 2. We've looked at the starting 11. Now, I've talked a bit about the threats of Madrid, but I think the threats of Madrid cannot be... The threats of Madrid cannot be forgotten, because they are crazy threats. I mean, Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo and Bellingham, and then they can bring on Güler, Brahim, Modric. It's crazy. But how do we contain them? Forget all those tactics board and my tactical manager career mode genius things. The way you beat Real Madrid is by doing basically what Atletico did. Just thinking the place out, beat them 1-0, grab a 0-0, defend for your lives, and then win the game on penalties and extra time in the last minute. Now, when was the last time, and I asked this question, when was the last time Madrid lost an important Champions League game by a last minute winner, or on penalty shootout, or by, I don't know, some sort of extra time goal? None come to mind. The last time Madrid lost in the Champions League was that 4-0 defeat to City. When I mean lost, I mean got knocked out from the Champions League, is what I mean. The 4-0 loss to City. Now, we are not going to beat Madrid 4-0, as far as I'm aware. We're more likely to lose 4-0. So, we have to do something that's unthinkable. And the only way you beat Madrid is if you go so further in front of them, they give up, or you somehow score in the last minutes, they can't respond, extra time goal, a penalty shootout win, something crazy like that. We have to do that. Now, if I was to say that we were to draw tomorrow 2-2 at the Bernabeu, it's tomorrow when I'm recording this right now, it might be today as we currently speak, but let's say Arsenal drew 2-2 at home, not the Bernabeu, at the Emirates. Do they win at the Bernabeu? I'm not sure. Arsenal win 2-1 tomorrow. Do they win at the Bernabeu? Or do they go through at the Bernabeu with a 2-1 win going up there? I'm not sure. Now, does a 2-0 win at Emirates seal the deal at the Bernabeu? Potentially. I think, I saw Lee Judges saying this actually on AFTV, huge plug. He said, we have a 50% chance of beating Madrid if we have a 2-goal lead going to the Bernabeu. Which might sound outrageous, but going to the Bernabeu with a 1-goal lead, I mean, you might as well just not go with the lead. Basically the same thing. Going with a draw to the Bernabeu is basically being a goal down, in my opinion. And being a goal down, I mean, you're finished already. Right. Now, Mbappe. He is the man that we must stop. I know they have Vinicius, I know they have Bellingham, I know they have Rodrigo. But if Mbappe is through at any point in this football match, he will score. All four of those players I just named will score. But he's the one that has to be stopped. Saliba, he better have been locking up in France training sessions and told Mikel how to defend against him. Because if he's on it, we are going to be way up there, best believe me, of that one. Now, is Don Carlo going to attack or defend? That's what I'm saying. Some quotes about how Arsenal attack like crazy, so we'll be ready to defend. I think Madrid will be happy with a draw. I think Madrid will be happy with a win, obviously. Yeah, this at Emirates, they'll be happy with a draw, they'll be happy with a win, and I think they'll be happy with a 1-goal defeat. I think if they lose 2-0, then they'll be like, okay, we've got a big task at the Bernabeu now. But Madrid are Madrid. And if Madrid are in town, that stadium needs to be rocking, and it will be rocking. The Emirates, I think it might be the best Emirates atmosphere, potentially, tomorrow, that has ever existed. I think it's going to be one of those great atmospheres. In terms of its, what do you call it? It needs to be cauldron-like. So Mikel's called upon the fans. The Ashburton Army needs to be playing those drums. We cannot allow Real Madrid to rock up to town and have the away end making more noise than all that home end. Because that's happened too many times in the past at the Emirates. But this is Real Madrid. Now, will it be an Arshavin type moment game? Potentially. And I think that's the only way you beat Madrid. You have to beat them so late that they cannot respond. Well, the task is there. It lies ahead. If Marino can maybe latch onto something, maybe, I don't know. When I mean latch on some, a second ball, and he just picks it up. He needs to have good hold-up play as well. Marino, Waneri and Trossard are going to have a huge significance in the game if they don't start. Huge. Because there's no way we're going to be coasting come the 85th minute. So they need to be ready. The subs need to be ready. Arteta needs to be ready. And now, we've said Arsenal can beat Madrid. Obviously Madrid are heavy favourites. But let's think about it. What would it mean if Arsenal beat Real Madrid? It would mean Arsenal through to their first Champions League semi-final. It might be since that final in 06? Maybe 04. I don't even remember. I wasn't even alive. But it would be such a big moment for the football club to beat Madrid, especially for Arteta. To beat Carlo. That would be incredible. Now, I'll play devil's advocate and say, on the flip side, what would it mean if Madrid were to beat Arsenal? Well, there'll be nothing to play for till the end of the season, and I think the club, Arteta, the Kroenkes will be under even more pressure. Now, we said this word pressure for a long time as Arsenal fans, and I think it needs to be applied. I think last season was unacceptable. We've let a third season go by now. Do I think we're going to win the league next season? No. So that would be 4 seasons. But it feels like this is almost the be and the end all. It feels like it's do or die here. It's fight or flight. It's trophy or no trophy. It's a Champions League semi-final or it's nothing. And the only thing we've just clinged on to as Arsenal fans the last few weeks has been this Madrid tie. It's been such an important game for the club, for the fans, everyone. This is the game. Berta's come in now, and I'm hearing that Gyökeres's agent is going to be watching the game tomorrow at the Emirates. So it's pretty simple. We have to turn up. We have to make Gyökeres, trust the process, believe that we can sign him. Because if it's not Isak, it should be Gyökeres, in my opinion. It really should be Gyökeres. So we have to beat Madrid. And there's no if, buts, or maybe. It sounds crazy. But Arsenal pretty much have to beat Madrid, or it's a season down the drain yet again. And that would be, 6 years without a trophy? 5 years, sorry. It's already been 5 years. So, look, it's been an interesting conversation, but I'm going to predict an Arsenal 3-2 win tomorrow, or tonight when you're watching this. The Emirates is going to be rocking, and I just think it's going to be crazy. I think Bellingham is going to score, and I think Mbappe or Vinicius will score. Now, we know what happened last time we played Madrid, but we don't have Thierry Henry with his little flipping, his gloves and his long sleeve yellow top, so it's going to have to be done in different ways. I think Saka will hopefully score. Odegaard, I think, just to dwell on him just for a second, I think Odegaard has been nothing short of embarrassing, shocking, terrible, all over the pitch in the last few months. The last time he scored, I think, was against Zagreb, and that deflected goal before that, I think it was Wolves away last season. I mean, I don't know when he last scored. This guy is washed. Well, he's so off it. I mean, if we're being real, against Everton, he got dropped. So he has to pick it up. And if he was to score against his former club, which would be very Odegaard-like, I think the fans won't forgive him. But there will be less pressure on him. Because there's a lot of pressure on him, because I don't think he's performing like a captain. And he hasn't been for a few months. Saka's more of a captain now. It feels like Gabriel's more of a captain now. Lewis Skelly even feels to be more of a leader. Rice, Partey, Saliba, Timber. So tomorrow, Odegaard, or tonight, Odegaard has to turn up. Must. Partey needs to be locking up, man. He needs to be locking up Madrid. I need him to, straight away from kickoff, to go straight into Mbappe. Bellingham gets on the ball. Pew! Get out of here. As soon as Vinicius picks up the ball, I want Ben White or Timber, whoever's playing right back, to literally smash into him. Smash into, like Roy Keane once said. I might just smash into somebody. Just smash into him. You know what I'm saying? Mars Lewis Skelly, who's probably going to start, I need him to be rattling up Rodrigo. I need to be rattling up Mbappe. I need Saliba to just go, yo, do you remember your country, man? Do you remember where you're at now? I need Kivior to rise to the occasion. I need him to feel the atmosphere, feel the weight, the burden on his shoulders, and use it as momentum. I need Mikel Merino to hold up the ball and draw players in from the midfield to Odegaard, to Saka, to Martinelli. I need Merino to latch on something. Any chance he gets, he's got to take it, get on target, make Courtois make a save, make them think, make Rudiger and Alaba, don't make them stay still. Saka, I need you to cook the left hand side. They do not have a good left back. Cook it. Martinelli, you're running up against Carvajal. This man's like 100 years old. Don't make this be an Ashley Young moment, like in the 0-0 early on in the season. I need to, first as soon as Martinelli gets the ball, just run at him. Just like he did to Castagna. Run at him. Odegaard, step up. When he comes off the bench, rise to the occasion. I need Trossard to be clutch again. I need Timber to be the Ajax level player that he always is. I need him to be linking up play, moving about, bobbing about, be aggressive. These lot do not know what's coming for them. Real Madrid don't know. We have to turn up. Because if we don't turn up and we die, there's problems. That's why I gave Atletico Madrid's game against Real as a very good example. Atletico lost in Madrid, then 0-0 in Atletico, or 1-0, sorry, and it went to penalties. We need to do the same thing. Keep a clean sheet, keep it tight. Our defence is the strongest thing about our team, so use it. But look, I've given my speech, I've given my Believe little Robbie speech, but today is not about me, it's about those 11 players on the pitch and the man on the touchline, that is Mikel Arteta, to deliver. I hope Arsenal can turn up and beat Madrid, but I'm going for 3-2 Arsenal victory against Real Madrid. What do you think? Thank you for listening so much. This is the first episode of the Rating Room podcast here, live from Appleman. Look, subscribe, like the video if you like the video. Peace.